Aloha, everyone. How are you guys doing? I'm not sure how many people are on here yet. Sorry about being a couple minutes late. I am here at Skylar's school. We were looking for a place to post up so you guys could see some outdoor view of Hawaii. And unfortunately, it's just super windy out here in Waimea, in Kona. And I wanted to talk about empowerment. I wanted to spend a little bit of time on our Facebook Live talking about this word that people throw around a lot nowadays. And that word is empowerment. So what is empowerment? First of all, empowerment is you learning how to take your energy, to take your focus, to take your intention and put it out there, to be able to manifest, to create the things that you truly dream about. And I'm already getting some thumbs up on this. I love it. Veronica, David, hey, good to see you guys on here. So people throw this word empowerment around a lot and they don't define it. They don't talk about it very much. And I want to talk a little bit about it, and I want to share with you a couple of key points that are going to be a little bit more detailed than what I have taught you guys in the past with regards to goal setting. So there are 4 things that you need to do to become totally empowered in your life. The first thing is you got to let go of baggage. So we got a couple of books out, Ho'oponopono. If you guys have done Ho'oponopono, hit your heart button, your thumbs up, whatever it is. Ho'oponopono helps to let go of baggage. I share a story about releasing baggage with you guys as groups at my live events with Skylar, about Skylar. And in fact, Skylar's sitting right here.
Hi.
She's in the driver's seat. That's my girl. That's my daughter. I'm here at her school because she's doing her parent-teacher conference. And Skylar is just an inspiration for me. And you got to let go of baggage. If you want to be healthy in your life, you got to let go of baggage. You got to release it. Mental and emotional release, another powerful technique for you to let go of your baggage. You guys have already heard this. We've already talked about that. I want to talk about the second thing that you need to do to create change in your life, to create empowerment. The second thing is you have to have a direction. You need to have a direction. Now, the direction can range from a lifelong goal of, here's what I want to accomplish at the end of my life. A direction that I took back when I first got into NLP was that I wanted to add more credibility to this field. So I set this long-term goal. Shorter-term goals, writing a book, getting into a certain level of health, getting into an amazing relationship. Those you have learned through our school of teaching SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable. But then there's a lesser version of that as well. There's a lesser version which just is called intention setting. When you're running a meeting, when you as a business owner like myself are running a meeting, you don't need to set a whole SMART goal for it. If you're going on a one-day road trip, you don't need to set a whole SMART goal for it. You can just set an intention. I want to talk about the power of intentions in relationship to empowerment in general. And that is that when you want to manifest something, you got to put an intention out there. Skylar is doing her student-led teacher conference today. And I got her in the car. I got the next generation of Jameses in the car. And so we're driving here, and I turn to her and I say, Skylar, what's your intention? And I'm straight up. She looks at me and she goes, I already set my intention for my parent-teacher conference today, Daddy. Like she had already set her intention for this presentation that she's going to do. Not a SMART goal, not an avatar, not putting something huge out there. What's your intention? And so I'm going to hand the mic over to Skylar.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, oh, okay.
Oh.
So, Pumpkin, share with everyone, what's your intention for today?
Okay, my intention is to speak clearly and confidently without making many mistakes. Well, maybe none, if that's possible. And making sure I know my stuff so I don't have to look at the board. And yeah.
And what else?
I think that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
And whatever, you had said one more thing when we were driving, though. You had said that you want to be focused the entire time?
Oh, yeah. Not, like, mess around or anything.
There we go. That's it. Simple intention. Oh, I need the mic back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Simple intention. She is going to be doing a presentation, and all I wanted her to do was have a simple intention with what it is that she's going to be doing. So set intentions in order for you to be able to just guide your unconscious mind and guide that 126 bits, that small little piece of information that you get out of everything going on. By her focusing in on that and setting that as an intention, it helps her to become more congruent with what she's doing and a lot more focused with it. And so what I wanted to do, just talk for a little bit, I wanted to open this up to questions. There's a whole bunch of you in here. I just got one. Someone said, solid kid. Solid kid right there, Craig. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, we do our best. So what questions do you guys have about intentions and how it relates to empowerment? I want to take as many questions as I can. She doesn't have to be actually doing her presentation for another 30 minutes or so. So we got time. We got time to hang out. If no one's asking any questions, I'm just going to keep talking about intentions. So intention setting, until I get a question. I have an intention of getting a question. That would be nice. Hello, Dr. Matt. What's happening? Ronald, how you doing, man? So with intentions, what you want to do is you want to focus in on the positive. So when setting an intention, you want to focus in on the positive and have it be focused on what it is that you want to accomplish. So an intention can be an experience. An intention can be, we're going to dinner tonight. We're going to go out to dinner tonight. And so I could set an intention for going out to dinner where I talk about, with my kids. The intention for us going out to dinner tonight is for us to connect, for us to talk about any of the things that are up for you guys. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. The intention can just be to hang out and to find a deeper level connection with each other. My son Ethan, who is not here in the car, he has been applying to different colleges and he's got accepted to all of the ones that he has applied to so far. So I need to have a discussion with him this weekend about how do you set an intention for what school you want to go to. So an intention can be ranging anywhere from here's what I want to accomplish to a bigger long-term goal. When you move from just specific intentions for a meeting, for a discussion, for a dinner, and you move into goal setting, that's where you want to be a little bit more specific. You want to get specific with what it is that you want to create and measurables. In intention setting and goal setting, I find measurables to be extremely valuable. I was doing a coaching call today. I had a couple of coaching clients today. And for me, it was really important to test where my client is on their path to achieving their goals by asking them, how close are we to the different measurables that we have? So a question that I just got from David. David, so glad that you're on here, man. We had a great time in Seattle at HUNA. The way intentions differ from SMART goals is I would use intentions for smaller events. So I would use intentions for things like a meeting, a dinner, intentions that Skylar was setting for her presentation today because it's a short presentation and it's on things that she's been doing for her entire school year in 6th grade. We keep the intentions pretty specific, but we don't put like this whole SMART goal or put the goal in your future. The moment it's something that you want to manifest, so a goal that you want to bring to manifestation, to bring into being, my recommendation would be that you move into SMART goals, that you then move from just intention setting into SMART goals. And Craig asked a really good question. It doesn't happen to me, but when an intention doesn't work out as planned, what's your next move? Asking for a friend, and then did that weird face there. That's cute, yeah. I don't actually have a problem. I got a friend that has a problem. I'm joking. That's a joke that I make every once in a while in practitioner trainings. It's a good point. It's a good point. In 5th grade, Skylar, I don't know if you remember or not, but in 5th grade, when you did your parent-teacher conference, one of her intentions was to remain clear, remain focused, and that didn't happen. She also, though, put out an intention that if I get rattled a little bit, to just take a deep breath and refocus in and just do my best. So two things. I would always put an intention out there for how are you going to handle shift, right? I got these company shirts that we made, and on the back it says shift happens, because things do occur. You can get thrown off. I was planning on doing the Facebook Live out there, in nature, but it's super windy, and when Skylar and I were getting everything set up, it just didn't work out. So my intention was to show you guys some nature, maybe even find a rainbow or something. But it's so windy out there that the microphone was picking everything up. So what do? You be flexible on the path. So my answer to what do you do if an intention doesn't work out the way you want is that you add into your intention the idea that you're going to be flexible. In NLP, we call that the law of requisite variety. It's the most flexible individual will end up controlling the system. I don't like the word control, but I don't dislike it. I think a better word would be the person who's the most flexible ends up being the most empowered. And at the end of the day, our world demands a pretty big level of flexibility. Kelly Ray says, "Aloha, Dr. Matt and Skylar." And she spelled your name right, too. That's super cool. She's like, yes. Skylar's going to be doing level 3 of Huna next week. She's going to be in level 3. It's going to be her third time. She just did the practitioner training. Were any of you guys there at the practitioner training with Skylar? She just did the prac training a week and a half ago. So flexibility. Flexibility as a part of your intention would be super powerful. Now, one of the things that is a little bit more difficult to talk about, and I want to preface this by saying, I'm saying this from my heart. In order for you to be empowered, a part of your intention needs to be that you have to take responsibility for your results. You have to take responsibility for the things that you create on this path. So, for example, with the question, what happens if the intention doesn't work out? You have to take responsibility for the thing that you do create. So, for example, if in life you set an intention for things to be a certain way, like an amazing dinner with your kids, and things don't turn out well, you have to be open and taking that feedback and figuring out, how do I make a course correction to avoid repeating the mistakes in the past? You want to skip the idea of fault and blame. Too many people focus in on fault and blame and basically disempower themselves. It's not my fault that it's windy. I'm not to blame that it's windy. I'm responsible for my reaction to it so I can still get on here and do the Facebook Live with you guys. So what, I'm doing it from a car and don't have a fancy background behind me. It doesn't matter. I'm responsible for delivering a certain level of content because we as a company made a decision that I would do a Facebook Live right now. You're not to be at blame or fault for what the stock market is doing. You're not to be blamed for the economy going up and down. To be empowered, you have to be responsible for, at the very least, your reaction to it. I'm in charge of making sure that a group gets all of their content. Eric was like, yep, I was there. There's a couple of people that are on the Facebook Live that were in San Diego with you. Got Eric. I think Eric was like, I was there. I think Gary was there. Edna was there.
Still two.
We'll call this empowerment part 2. Isn't that funny? We were just talking about fault and blame, and I'm not to blame for AT&T having terrible reception. I'm not to blame for my Facebook app crashing. We were talking about cause and effect, and the Facebook app crashes. It's so cool. The whole thing was like black. It shut down. So I have no idea if that video got saved or not. And I turned on the air conditioning in the car. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, then that's just the AC going. It is Hawaii. It gets a little bit warm here. But let me just wrap up. I want to wrap up, and if there are any other questions, I'd love to take them. So a difficult concept is the idea of fault and blame versus taking responsibility. A lot of people, they blame themselves for how things are, or they think it's someone else's fault. Like, who is to blame for things being a certain way in your life, or who's at fault? And the problem with fault and blame, like blaming AT&T, or, yes, it's AT&T's responsibility to have better reception here in Kona. It is an actual place. I think we deserve good reception. But to a more specific point, If I want to do a Facebook Live, I'm responsible for just rebooting the app and logging back in and keep going. Rather than sitting here going, oh, it's not my fault, it's AT&T's fault. On one level, that may seem a little bit harsh, and yet people who are empowered, they don't accept excuses. People who are empowered do not accept excuses at all. Oh, that's so cool. Rose Johnson, Dr. Rose Johnson is on here. Dr. Rose Johnson is featured in my MER book. She was a major contributor. She's the one that helped out with all the academic research with Dr. Tracy down in Jamaica. Rose, so good to see you. Thank you so much for all your help. Talking about empowerment and cause and effect. So kind of right up that alley of being more empowered in your life. Look, at the end of the day, here's the point that I want to make. Fault and blame is you accepting excuses or looking for someone to point the finger at. What is the old saying? If you point one finger out, there are three pointing back at you. We've all gone through difficult times in our life. We've gone through things that we would rather not go through again. Even my 11-year-old girl has gone through things that you guys have heard me talk about. Losing her best friend, going through rough patches in school, in life. It is what it is. So the point of empowerment isn't to point your finger at someone. It has nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, it's not about fault and blame. It's not about pointing the finger at yourself or anyone else. It's taking responsibility. Taking responsibility for your actions, taking responsibility for your reactions, and taking responsibility for your results. Actions, reactions, and results. So when I want to accomplish something in my life, whether it's a simple intention for having a great time with my girl, for focusing in on you guys and doing a Facebook Live, I take responsibility for the results that I'm getting, for my reaction to things, and the actions that I take. So yeah, the Facebook app crashed and AT&T doesn't have great reception. It is what it is. Log back in, press play, wrap up the Facebook Live. That's the only thing that you can do. If I react to it in a way that is going to pull me from my empowerment, freak out or go crazy about it, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense at the end of the day. So what you have to decide on your path is, are you willing to begin to take results? You can peek in the camera if you want. You can say hi. Are you willing to take responsibility for your actions, the steps that you take, your reactions to things that you have no or little control over? Because I have no control over the stock market going up and down. I do have control over my reaction to it. And empowered people can be successful in any economic environment. And then the last thing is, are you taking responsibility for your results? When you do that, when you take responsibility for your actions, reactions, and results, you begin to increase your empowerment. You begin to increase the empowerment that you have and the results that you get in life. So I hope that helps. I always like to go about 20 minutes. I went a little bit longer, mainly because we had a power interruption with AT&T. Hey, Tamoy. Everyone's saying aloha at this point. I'm getting an aloha from Tamoy. See you soon. You'll see Skylar soon, too. Skylar's hanging out over here. There she is, guest appearance by my girl. Okay. So thank you all so much for taking the time and logging back in or reconnecting. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Aloha.